Tower of God. Anyone else remember when this show was all everybody was talking about? People were saying how this will be the anime that opens the gates for all the other great manhwa out there that have been missing out on an adaptation. And yeah, I think the season was great. It had me hooked as well as many others. I even picked up the actual webtoon after finishing it. But what happened with the anime? This goes for a God of High School as well, honestly. They were hyped up, but now they kind of fizzled out in the hype. And it's not like they did bad revenue wise. At least I think so. It seemed like a lot of people enjoyed the show and will look for a season to be made. So what's the deal? That's what I'm here to hopefully answer with this video. Before that though, consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more anime content. As I said, I really don't believe it was an issue of revenue, because both Tower of God and God of High School seem to do particularly well. But still, even after a full year, there's not even a confirmation of a season 2 being in production or being planned to be put in production. Even excluding those two, the last manhwa I've watched was one that may be a little on the niche side. It was called Nobolesi, which was basically about some vampire dictatorship thing. I didn't really explain it well, but it was a pretty decent show. I can recommend it. But yeah, even including that, which was the latest manhwa I've watched, that was still around 10 months ago if my math is correct, which it probably isn't. And I don't really use Crunchyroll at all. I haven't used it in a very long time, to be honest. But from taking a look at their site, they look like they haven't done any manhwa related shows in a hot minute. Is it that they just thought making animes would be easier than they thought and decided to be lazy about it and scrap the idea of making their own animes? If that's the case, that would really suck. If it would turn out like that, it will be another Hunter x Hunter situation, where the anime is really good and its stills are good and everything about it is good, checking all the boxes for a continuation, but then it ends up not happening for no particular reason, and the anime never gets expanded on. And in Hunter x Hunter's case, I'm aware of how slow the manga comes out. Heck, it's literally been almost 3 years since the last Hunter x Hunter chapter, which is honestly pretty depressing to think about. But still, it's not like they can't do an OVA or a movie with what went down with Hisoka and the Phantom Troop. I won't go into it too much, but they should at least animate that part to sate the hunger the Hunter x Hunter fans have been dealing with, trying to hold off from reading the manga, because they are waiting for the day for the anime to get announced for a continuation. But yeah, back to the main topic, Tower of God. Unfortunately, I believe it will be the case with what I said with Hunter x Hunter. I mean, maybe not that extreme because it's been about 7 years since Hunter x Hunter ended, but it'll probably be a minute before we get any news of Tower of God or any manhwa related anime in general. Either that or Crunchyroll has just scrapped that whole idea of it happening and aren't planning to do any continuation. I think that's a lot less likely, as Tower of God is a money cow waiting to be milked, so I don't see why they wouldn't be intrigued in continuing it. But still, it is a possibility of that being the case. If it is though, whoever's in charge of making those decisions at Crunchyroll honestly doesn't know what they're doing. Even I, your average anime viewer, can tell how much money they can make off of a franchise like Tower of God, which already has a pretty large fan base, even before it had its anime made on it. With so much source material as well, it doesn't have the same excuse as Hunter x Hunter. The manhwa artist Sue took about a year break off of it, but even with that break, the manga is near 600 chapters, and I believe where the anime ended at is still below even 100. There's literally no reason not to want to continue it. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on why there is no news about the Tower of God anime. Most likely they will have a return, but as I said, it might be a minute before we get any actual news on it. That's pretty much all I have to say, so if you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe as well for more anime videos. Peace.